hear that? It sounds like a party. In fact, it is a party, an introduction to square dancing party sponsored by the Glenview Park District and Glenview Square Dancing Club. Let's go check it out.
Do you feel gutsy? Do you feel really like you want to achieve something tonight that's going to be overbearing next week? Don't worry about it, but you did.
Here I am with Janice, and she's the lesson coordinator for the Glenview Square Dancing Club. Janice, could you please tell me more about the club and what it does and its activities?
Sure. Well, we have dances every Friday night, and in order to go to our square dances on Friday nights, you need to go through the square dance lessons, and those are the ones that take place here at the Glenview Park Center on Tuesday nights.
Tom, he is the square dance caller, and he calls it moves. Could you tell, for viewers who don't know about that, can you tell us how that process works?
Sure. Square dancing is a little bit like Simon Says for adults, and you have 4 couples together. They stand in a square, and you have the caller, and he's telling them what to do. And what he tells them is each is a call, and each call has a certain movement. It could be a short movement or it could be a long movement, but you have to know how to do it when he says the word. And he gets you all mixed up, and then he does some sort of magic in his brain, and he gets you back with your original partner in your original starting spot, and that's just kind of fun.
I am here with Tom, and tonight Tom is the caller for the Square Dance Open House. So Tom, how long have you been the caller?
Well, I've been calling Western-style square dancing for the past 33 years. And Glenview Square Club is the club that hired me to do their lessons. So basically, I come up from Naperville and do their lessons for them.
Do a do-si-do with your partner. Everybody take your partner, promenade your partner.
How did you fall in love with square dancing?
Oh, it's been a long time ago. It goes all the way back into the 1970s when I originally took lessons. Took lessons in Louisville, Kentucky, where I'm originally from, and then got into lessons, danced for about a year, and decided I wanted to try my hack at calling, so I did, and I liked it, and here I am today, 32 years later.
Is there certain processes or classes that you had to go through to become a caller?
There are different caller classes that you can go to become a caller. Matter of fact, I'm a certified caller instructor. I'm the president of the American Callers Association, which we have about 3,500 to 4,000 members internationally. And the square dancing is one of those things that's done internationally, and it's done anywhere in the world in the English language. So you can go anywhere in the world and dance square dancing, and it's going to be called in the English language. If you go to Japan, if you go to Sweden, wherever you go to.
So all the calls are universally known?
It's called an international folk dance that we use.
Swing that girly promenade. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Come on the side square.
How long have you been square dancing?
Oh my gosh. Probably about, more than 15 years. And I learned square dancing not here in America, but I actually learned in Japan because square dancing is popular all over the world.
That's fantastic news, Japan. Okay, so what is your favorite thing about square dancing then?
I like it because it makes you use your head and your feet, and you make a lot of friends, and it's just a lot of fun. When you're all dancing together and you do it right, it's a really good feeling.
I'm here with Mary Jo, and Mary Jo is a part of the Glenview Square Dancing Club. Mary Jo, how long have you been square dancing?
Just a couple of years we've been square dancing. My husband and I do it together.
And how did you start square dancing? What led you to fall in love with square dancing?
We had some friends who had started it the year before, and they asked us if we wanted to join them on a Tuesday night to try square dancing, and we thought it sounded like a lot of fun, and it really was. It was nothing like what we had expected from, our childhood experiences with square dancing, in elementary school or the Girl Scouts or whatever. It was so much different and so much fun.
Side ladies chain straight across. Do you feel
square dancing is, Western-style square dancing is a basic of roughly 60 plus so-called moves that we use in square dancing. And what we do is we teach the dancers those moves in our lessons, and then once we get them out dancing, it takes about 12 to 15 weeks to do that. Once we get them out dancing, then basically I take those moves and use it like a Rubik's Cube, and I put the dancers together in formations, and I break them back up, and I send them back to where they belong with the person that they were started dancing with. So that's basically what it is. It's a mathematical game in our heads. So.
And you're like the choreographer.
Correct.
You're like the composer, like music, telling them what to do. And
Basically everything other than the music we use is all done in our heads, and we figure it out ourselves. That's why every caller is different.
Come back, turn your partner by the right. Good. Back out, join hands, and circle left. Whoops. We almost lost one in the front square, but nobody saw.
I'm here with Pam and Terry, and they are members of the Glenview Square Dancing Club. How long have you guys been square dancing, and what led you to start square dancing?
We've been square dancing about 5 years, but we started square dancing many years ago.
30 years ago, actually, because of square dancing, we met and got married. And then with the kids coming along shortly thereafter, we were just too busy to do square dancing, so we stepped out only as empty nesters to come back into square dancing again. And we really encourage empty nesters to look at square dancing as a fun way to reconnect with each other.
I'm here with Hannah and Brian. So what brought you guys here tonight?
We had a friend that was telling us about it, and we thought come along and try it out.
How do you like it so far?
It's a lot of fun. It's good exercise, and it's a fun way to do it.
I know that you're learning calls, right? Like you're learning these dance moves. What's been the most fun or most challenging about it right now?
Sometimes you get confused because you expect one call and another one happens, and you end up banging into people, and it's fun. But it's you get it down after a while. So most fun call is probably the big right and left grand, I think it's called. Kind of where everyone swings around, changing hands, and you end up back where you started.
Okay, yeah, that sounds fun.
Your top. Right here. You can run it too. Why do you square through the run? Three hands now. Swing that girl.
They have all the squares on the floors and calling the calls, and all of a sudden we're back at our home squares. And I really think it's a lot about geometry and math, and I'm so impressed with callers. It's just amazing sometimes.
Tell me, how many calls do you know?
Well, I call through the C1 level, so that encompasses about 400 calls. When you look at different positions on the floor, sometimes you can multiply that times 3 and 4 times. So you could be working with 1,600 different figurations.
Wow. How long did it take you to learn so many calls?
You learn every day. It's just experience. It's just how many years you've been doing it and how long and how many times a week you call.
And I heard that the square dancing calls get really technical and they can get really complicated, but then the more fun it is because it's more challenging.
Exactly. And it's part of the extra flair that people put into it that it really sort of enjoy it at the end. So you sort of learn the square dance calls, and then you get a chance to add your own flair to it. And when you go home at night, you're tired, but you've had a really good time.
One of the fun calls is Relay the Deucey, and it's a very complicated call, and it was very challenging to learn. But once you learned it and they call it and everybody does it, it's just like this well-oiled machine, and you end up and you're back at your home and everybody high-fives each other because it was so much fun.
I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind and now I see. Circle that! Amazing grace, how sweet.
Even the simpler ones can be a lot of fun. So there's square through and there's teacup chain, and very complicated calls, but a lot of twirling can be it's beautiful to watch as girls get twirled by every guy they meet. So the whole square is twirling. It's quite something.
Have you learned any calls tonight? Yes. Oh, yeah. What's one do you find is the most easiest? Which one do you like really so much so far?
Well, do-si-do is always easy.
That's a classic, right? That was the only one I knew.
Boy, she's on your right. Do a do-si-do. Right shoulder, back to back. Left shoulder, come right back, looking right back in the eyeball. There we go. Let's walk you through that again. Walk up right shoulder to right shoulder.
Hi, I am here with Mike, and Mike is an experienced square dancer. And so, Mike, how long have you been square dancing?
11 years. My first square dance lesson was September 11th, 2001. That September 11th.
The 9/11, the day of 9/11.
Day of 9/11. And we were asked if we would like to have our first lesson next week, because today was such an awful day. And everybody said, no, let's dance. And it was the right thing to do. Square dancing is very distracting. So you'll forget that you watched horrible stuff on TV or that your back was bothering you earlier today. It's a great distractor.
So that means you enjoyed it. You love it, right?
Absolutely.
What are some of your favorite things about square dancing?
Getting it right. Some of the calls I like better than other calls. Everybody has their favorite calls. Everybody has one call that they always have trouble with. So I just enjoy it's like Simon says, basically. And you just keep doing what the guy says, and hopefully you do it right.
Do you have any favorite dance or square dancing calls?
Dance calls. My favorite when I took lessons was something called spin chain through. And it's rarely called these days, but it's a fun call.
Did you get to do tonight?
No, new dancers won't get up that.
Oh, okay. So it's a complicated move for experienced.
It's the kind of thing that you would learn 10 weeks into square dancing.
Wow, good to know.
Promenade.
Have you guys square danced before? Is this your first time?
I used to square dance maybe over 10 years ago and have forgotten everything I knew, and it was so much fun. I want to come back and do it again.
I think the last time I square danced was in 8th grade, and that's been a long time ago. But we came together to see what this is all about, so it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Yeah, the people here are a lot of fun. You know, everyone's getting into it. A lot of people have been doing it a while, so they kind of help you along if you don't know quite what you're doing. And everyone's having a good time, so yeah, it's enjoyable.
So everyone's really nice. They're going to help you. I mean, they're really willing to show you all the dance moves.
Yeah. And the callers are funny, you know. They make it a little humorous to make it more fun too. So
Fun.
I think it's good to know that they play more than just country music. Yeah, you know, we heard a little Motown tonight, so you're square dancing to a variety of music.
Yeah, that was one thing that I was glad to know too, because I thought square dancing was only country music, but it's not. Yeah, they play a lot of fun songs. All right, so one misconception about square dancing is that it's all country music, but it's not.
Right, it's not. There are some country tunes. They're very upbeat, but we've also danced to some really current music, including one time we did Gangnam Style. So
You did Gangnam Style. That is awesome. That must have been really fun.
that was a lot of fun.
Oh, that's fantastic.
We use all types of music. We use pop music, rock music. We use country western music. We use anything that has a really good beat to it, something that the dancers can dance to. I mean, we use a lot of stuff. Even the top, some of the rap songs we use, because some of the rap music has a really strong beat to it. So we use that, maybe dial the words down a little bit, and it sort of accentuate on the music, and it works out real well.
I think one of the things that people often think is that square dancing is only country music or simply country music, but it's not. It's a variety.
That's correct. Country music used to be the big thing in square dancing, the old fiddle music and what we call the old hoedown music. But today we're using anything pop. We're trying to get more people involved. We're trying to get the people to come and dance. So to do that, we have to change too. So in changing our ways by adding more music to the mix really helps us get more people involved.
One of my favorites is Phantom of the Opera. I like that music
Yeah, we
to
danced
dance
to Love Potion #9, you know, I mean, out of the 60s and that, Phantom of the
Michael
Opera.
Jackson, and a lot of fun music.
Okay, and then lastly, for our viewers at home who don't know about square dancing, what is one thing that you want them to take away about square dancing, or perhaps that you'd like them to learn?
Oh, well, I'd like them to learn that it's square dancing is for everybody. It's not just for couples. It's not just for people who like country music. It's for people who want to get out, people who don't like to sit alone on their couch watching TV every night. It's just a great way to meet people and to move your body and to have a little fun. And you don't have to dance. It's basically walking in time to the music. If you know your right from your left and you're not afraid to make a fool of yourself sometime, then you're a good candidate for square dancing.
Great. Thanks, Janice. Thanks for sharing. And you've loved it so much that you've been doing it for 2 years.
We have been doing it for 2 years now, and it's a great exercise for your brain, and it's a lot of fun. We've made a lot of friends that we now go out with, and some of the times the square dancing, when we're at lessons or we're at some additional lessons that we take on top of the lessons that we teach, they'll be doing things in a whole different way than what we've learned, and sometimes I can almost feel my brain do a somersault. It's that much fun.
I think this is a great way for empty nesters to connect with their spouses or significant others. It's fun, it works your mind, but when you're all done, you feel really good about it, and you're working with a group of people, so you build up friendships and that which last a lifetime.
It's fun. It is absolutely low impact exercise. It's something to do to take your mind off whatever's bothering you. It is fun. You get out with people. That's it. And it's cheap.
Very wholesome, lovely activity because the people are very genuine, and it's something that you can communicate with other people. It's like you're having fun together, and you're relying on other people in a group, where you have to count on what they're doing. And
it's a teamwork. It's a great group effort.
I think it's nice that it isn't necessarily a couples thing. The men will dance with different women, and so that's great. Yeah, it's great because we came as singles. So.
Oh, yeah, that's great to point out. Like, it's okay for singles, and because I think usually people think it is only for couples, but it's not.
It's a great combination of the physical exercise, the mental exercise, and as well as the social, because you're with people and you're working together, and it's a lot of teamwork. So those are the things that I would want people to know about square dancing.
Well, the biggest thing about square dancing is it's fun, cheap entertainment that has an exercising motion to it that actually can do two things. Number one, you can go be entertained, have fun, a very inexpensive way in the evening, and get about a 2.5-mile walk in at the same time. So that's what I would tell people. It's great activity, fun fellowship. You couldn't ask for more.
Thanks, Tom. It was great talking to you, and it was great learning about square dancing. Okay, so what is you're part of the Glenview Square Dancing Club. What is this club about? What are some activities you do here locally?
We have a club square dance, usually at Glen Grove or one of the Park District facilities, 2 times a month. And members from the club come to dance, but also members from around the Chicagoland area come from other clubs, which makes it interesting. You get to know other people from other clubs. And there are other activities that the club participates in, Toys for Tots and other activities too, but mainly square dancing.
yes, I'm going to continue with the lessons.
Awesome.
I will too. I think it's fun. We're going to do this together.
And I like that. I like how square dancing is relational. I mean, it's people that you enjoy their company, and then you come and you connect. And you did mention earlier that you said that you were thinking about signing up for classes tonight with the Glenview Square Dancing Club, right?
Becoming a member of Glenview Squares. I haven't been a member of a square dance club for a couple of years, and I feel I should be. So I want to go back to being a member of Glenview Squares, just to be a member.
For viewers at home, I want to tell them how they can learn how to square dance.
Sure. Well, all they need to do is come to Glenview Park Center and they can take lessons. Our lessons start in September and also again in January. And in 15 weeks, you're going to learn about 40 different calls. And because Tom is such a great teacher, we'll have you dancing in no time flat.
All right. And where can people find out more information about the Glenview Square Dancing Club?
We have a website. It's www.glenviewsquares.org.
Swing that girl and promenade. I once was lost, oh now I'm found. Was blind, 4 ladies chain across, 4 ladies chain back. Was blind.